I am so happy about this return. Now, of course, there's other things that we got to get into. And since we are back with another one from Mr. Dizzle, we have to do it like we used to. So let's go ahead and roll that mother effing intro.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really wanna.
All right. So happy about AJ Lee being back, first and foremost. But before we do get into that, we have to talk about some small things that have kind of irked me just a little bit. For starters, the stuff with R-Truth, I felt like it was a waste. I felt like they were going somewhere with it and we were going to get something that was almost akin to the Ron Killings from TNA, which we didn't. I mean, I didn't expect to get a full-blown version of that, but the way that they started to do it piqued my interest. And I was like, okay, well, we're going to get just a little bit more respect for him outside of him just being a comedy character. Complete fucking waste. It was trash on them for doing it like that, because now he's basically back and slotted into what they had him in to begin with. So fuck them for that. The stuff with Cena, and I guess this might be like a two-pronged thing, because it has to do with Cena and Cody at the same time. Firstly, the stuff with Cena, I can understand, how his heel turn started and it was kind of weird, but as it progressed, it did seem like it had legs. Now, of course, getting to the beginning of the tail end of it, which is kind of where we are now, and then having them drop the title to Cody, and then with Cody basically going off of TV, it's one of the situations where I feel that, that they could have done it better. They could have gone and planned this a lot better. I mean, you already knew that Cody was going to be off the TV for a bit. You already knew that Cena was going to be retiring. You knew the debt. Like, you had all the things that you needed to understand how much time you had and what you possibly had time to do. So this is poor planning. This is poor planning on WWE's creative. If Cena was involved with that creative plan, it's poor planning on his part as well. I just felt like they could have done it better. Am I saying I could have wrote it better? Well, yeah, I am. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that could write this shit that's going on right now a lot better, because the stuff with Brock Lesnar coming back, it just seems like they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks story-wise, and none of it really makes sense at all. I could try and make some semblance of it, but at the end of the day, I mean, how do you transition from the whole Unseen 17 stuff and have that working the way that it works, and then pivot to this without making it seem nonsensical? Because that's exactly what it seems like right now, because it seems like they just lost the plot completely. Because now it's going to be a situation where he retires. Excuse me. He's going to retire, and that latter half of what he's been doing this year is going to basically be forgotten, unless they pivot again and do something extraordinary. But because you could have easily taken like the bad start to the heel turn with The Rock and Travis Scott and all that other shit, and had them forget about that because of what he did afterward. But because you did that and then pivoted it to this shit now, it's almost like it's for nothing. Because yeah, he's gonna go out as a heel, but I'm sorry, he's gonna go out as a face, which is what the fans want. But there would have been an easy way to change that story for him organically, without it just being like just a quick pivot and out of nowhere type thing. Um, as far as the stuff with Cody, I'm not mad at him being champion. I just think it was more or less the wrong time. I think that when it comes to Cody in the main event scene, you don't have to rush anything. Yeah, I mean, you've proven that when it came to him and finishing the story and the whole bloodline thing for 2 years straight. You know, you had him win back-to-back Rumbles. You had him go up against Roman twice, you know, back-to-back. You were able to do that. And even when people started to get tired of it, you made it work. And it worked. But there's a number of things that you could have done without having to put the title on Cody right now. You could have easily waited for him to get back from filming Street Fighter. But, you know, this is where we are right now. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see where that goes. But all in all, it's not my favorite. I'm not a fan of it. Now, can they do something to get me back and have me engaged in it? Absolutely. But as of right now, it's pretty fucking forgettable. When it comes to Saudi-Mania, cut and dry, bad idea. WrestleMania is and should always be an entity on its own. It's not something that you should have to mold for something else. Like, I understand going to the 2-night thing, it's going to rub people the wrong way, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's a lot that you can do with it. There's a lot of good that can come out of it, especially with a lot of people having matches cut, time cut in previous manias when they're trying to do everything in one day. Having a 2-night mania makes sense in the modern era, obviously. But first and foremost, saying that like the Crown Jewel and all the Saudi shows were like WrestleMania or akin to WrestleMania or WrestleMania adjacent. You've already said that about those shows over there, so you can keep those shows and have those be nostalgia shows. I'm not a fan of handcuffing a lot of stuff when it comes to the WWE product, because it is its own thing and you mold. And I fully understand, you know, as far as the customs that they have when it comes to women and having them cover up and stuff like that. But you have certain characters that do exude sexuality in their character, you know. So when it comes to Mania, everything is extrapolated. So you get the whole over the top entrances, you get the over the top attire, you get the over the top matches. And when it comes to the women, you hamper that, and then you end up watering it down, because that's not to say that women haven't had good matches in Saudi or any of those shows, but you don't want to take the risk of having anybody have to handcuff what they're able to do on this type of show. Because again, Mania is the Super Bowl equivalent to professional wrestling. Now, I'm not going to be one of those people that says WrestleMania should always be an American thing or in America. You know, I think that it would be beneficial to have them in other places, and them having it in Saudi wouldn't necessarily be a problem, but it's the fact of what they intend on doing. Because anytime they go anywhere else, you know, if they go to Australia, if they go to the UK, if they go to Japan, anytime they do shows out there, nothing really changes from the American product. Anytime they do a Saudi show, they do conform to whatever it is that they want, because they're the ones spending the money on the show, which is understandable because you're buying that product, you know, or renting that product per se. But when it comes to those specific Saudi shows that they have out there, those are the shows that are for out there. So it makes sense that they would actually conform to what they're doing. But when you take something like a Mania, something that's already been established, you water it down by changing it from what it is initially meant to be. And that's the issue that I have with that. So I think they need to switch it up and do something completely different. I don't know if it's pinned and set in stone. It may be, but I'm pretty sure they can change if they need to. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. And the small tidbit as well with them saying that they may do multiple Mania shows in a year. That, I mean, that's going to kill the idea of Mania altogether, because it doesn't make it special. Because everybody waits for that 1 year where you have that Mania weekend, you have the Hall of Fame, you have whatever Stand and Deliver is going to show, you have the 2-night Mania. That is an event all in itself, and people look forward to that. Now, I do not agree with the fucking pricing. Obviously, I think that's stupid, because now you're pricing out all the regular fans. You know, you're making it a Hollywood thing where now anybody that wants to sit in the front row and actually have some type of interaction with the performers, you're making them spend a year's salary just to be there. Not for room and board, not for food, just to be there at the show, which is crazy. And I understand how things go when it comes to, you know, the financial stuff of the world. I understand that things will inflate. I get it, but it's crazy. I mean, everybody can look at this and say this is fucking insane as far as pricing goes. Like, I understand that things are going to be ramped up slightly, as it should be for something like this, because it is a once a year show. It is an event. I get that. But to price it like this because of the people that you have coming to it, the people that you want to showcase in the audience, it takes it away from what it's meant to be, almost as if it was an appreciation for the fans before. And you're pricing your viewer base out to where all they're going to be now is some people at home, which now it's going to be a hype thing where the people that you have in there are just there for the hype. They're going to pay the money to be there, to be like, hey, I can afford to be here. You can't. Ha ha ha. I don't have a passion for this. I'm going to sit in the stands and hope I get on camera. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But to get into what this whole video was about, because I've been waiting to make this video and to talk about this individual, and that's AJ Lee. And, you know, we just did a tier list for the Divas Championship. And of course, we had put her in best of the best. Obviously, there is no fucking question when it comes to her being the Divas Champion. Unfortunately, that was pretty much the only title that she held. Her return is, first and foremost, as it should be, big nostalgia boost for a lot of people. I don't think anybody should look at what she's going to do moving forward as a nostalgia beat or whatever. I think that you do this first, you get everybody engaged as they should be, you get everybody that wants to see her to come back, who has been gone, and you give everybody that feel good at the start. And then you allow the real work to be put in. Now, of course, she has signed a legit deal. This isn't like a one-off. I don't know how long it's for, but it's one of those things that's deserved. I'm happy that she is back. I want to see what she's able to do. I would hope that this isn't a situation where it's, and I'm saying this understanding that I know that it's not, but I have to say it anyway. And that's the fact that I would hope that this isn't her coming back and it tarnishes what she was able to do prior to this. And I say that just to say it, like I said, but I understand that it's not that, because given her condition with the with the cervical spine issue and having to adjust her life, which of course that vignette kind of stated, which I'm glad that they did that vignette to give everybody an understanding of how invested that she is into her health, both physically and mentally. And I think it was a good thing on their part to get them not to get everybody to understand kind of where she is, like what, almost in a way to say, hey, here's what you should expect. And one, she looks fan fucking tastic, and that's due in part to her lifestyle change and being able to, to work out, to keep her health straight, to eat correctly, and make sure that she's in tip top physical shape. Mentally, it seems like she's in a good place, and I'm glad, because that means that she'll be able to handle whatever it is that she has ahead of her, uh, for whatever time frame that she's looking at as far as being there. The thing that should take precedent is her health. I wouldn't, like, as much as I want to see her in the ring and back on WWE TV, I don't want her to take unnecessary risk. I want her to be able to do everything at her pace, and to be able to find the best way for her to operate, within this time frame that she's going to be there. Now, this is going to be the bias coming out of me. I think that she deserves a WWE Women's Championship run. I'm pretty sure she'll maybe win the Intercontinental Championship at some point, for starters. But I think that it's deserved. Not necessarily for her in-ring work, but just for the impact that she's had. I think that because a lot of people is going to look at AJ Lee and think that she's had the Women's Championship before. But no, it was a Divas Championship. Nothing wrong with that, because that was the championship that at the time, because we, of course, we talked about it during the Divas tier list. But I just want this, and look, if she has to, like, bow out quickly and do something, in and out, I understand. I'm not going to take anything away from that. It's not going to tarnish the way that I view her run. I think that this would be more of then again, I said it's a bias, but I think it's going to be more of an appreciation thing, when it comes to her being back. Now, if she comes in and tears the fucking house down, I'm here for every fucking bit of it, because I think that she's going to inject a bit more life into the women's division, and it's needed. It's absolutely needed. But all in all, I just hope that after this whole thing with Seth and Becky comes to fruition and comes to a head and finally gets to a point where it's like said and done and nipped in the bud, I hope that she's able to go on a fucking tear and just do what she's wanted to do for so long, and that was get back into the ring. So just to recap, hopefully her health mentally and physically are all fantastic. I hope she's able to keep everything up as far as the stuff that's going to benefit her throughout this process. And I hope that all the eggs are able to align in this fucking basket, and she's able to just do everything in tip top shape to the best of her ability and to the best of the fans' ability, where we're able to look at that and be like, hey, AJ Lee wasn't playing any games. She came in and tore this shit down, and she's able to end her career on an even sweeter note, and more so on her terms. Because last time it was kind of not on her terms, but hopefully she's able to come out of this run here and end it when she wants to end it. And if she wants to go any further, and she absolutely can, then by all means, run it. But with that said, whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave all your comments, questions, concerns down below. Make sure that you tag that notification bell, tag that like button, tag that subscribe button. A good old warm up for the too sweet to everybody there. Bada, 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 bam. And until you see this handsome face and hear this immaculate voice, I bid you all adieu. And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers, tag the fucketh. Out.
Dollars make a way to make a change. Gotta be insane to make them same mistakes again. So I'm switching lane to lane. Pray the curb don't scrape.